All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 of the Elder League semifinals. My name, once again, is Stretch, if you're just joining us just now. And joining me here today is going to be the one, the only, TSM Loosecannon, a.k.a. Crazy 4X. Are you okay? You know what, by the way, are you okay with calling me calling you Crazy 4X? Should it be Crazy 4X, Crazy XXXX? Like, what's the proper pronunciation here?
Crazy.
Crazy?
Just act like the X's aren't there. Just
right.
pretend that those are a mistake.
Yeah, all right. All 4 X's are silent, boys. Here we go.
Yeah, 4 silent X's, dude. Holy.
All right, so in game number 1, we saw some absolutely dominant team fighting come out of Squid's wards. Finally, Corn the Cat, who was getting absolutely bent in the mid lane by Killer Zizari, was able to tie it together thanks to some strong engages out of Horseman 4's Gnar. So we'll get ready to see how these teams adapt in game number 2. Elder League, once again, semifinals. Peanut Gallery's first 3 bans: Darius, Zillion, Aatrox, Squid wards.
Aatrox is for...
Oh, go ahead.
E-sub.
Oh, yeah, E-sub, yet again, on the Aatrox. And then Squid board taking away the Syndra, Maokai, and Shen.
We're actually seeing a new jungler coming in this game. Instead of Cackles, I believe his name was, it's Gold-plat Lucian.
Interesting. The quick swap out, trying to see if we can get some different jungle stylings, I guess, in the out of the jungle here. Wriggle Q contemplating on what his team wants for this matchup straight away. Going to be the Sivir. So interesting to see that switch for their bottom lane.
I believe wasn't it banned last time instead of the Maokai in the Shen? It was one of those things.
I think it actually might have been. You might be correct.
I'm not certain, so don't quote me on it, but I think. I've seen Mother of Dozers on the champion before, and he plays it really well.
Yeah, and what are some of the things that actually makes a good Sivir player? Because I think that champion's so different from other ADCs. You don't have like a damage dealing ultimate. I mean, it gives you a little bit of attack speed, but what are some things that Sivir players should be looking to do?
Auto attack resets on the W. The Q is very nice damage, and it gives you the movement speed from your passive, so it's really good at kiting tool. Along with the fact that your spell shield, use it to only block essential spells like CC or maybe ultimates, stuff like that. And a thing that is very different about Sivir than other AD carries is that she requires a lot more sidestepping than anything else due to her low attack range.
Yep, so positioning even more crucial than some of the other AD carries. Squid's wards locking in the combination of both Cho'Gath and Lulu for their first 2 picks. And Peanut Gallery locking in the Zac and the Corki to round up this first 3 pick set.
We have some really hard engage coming through, and a lot of roaming power coming out of the mid lane there.
Yeah, Corki notorious for how dominant he is in the laning phase. Not only that, but the package giving him that surprise burst and engage potential, allowing him to get to these side lanes and have a large impact. Looks like the swap out mid laner there is going to be Kassadin for Corn the Cat. Interesting pickup here into the Corki.
We're again seeing Janna and Tristana and Twitch make it through the beginning part of this game. I mean, granted, they pick Sivir on the side of they swap sides. The Peanut Gallery, they pick Sivir and the Corki now, which is a really strong backline, which means I wouldn't be surprised if they picked an even stronger front line.
Strong front lines so far have been quite effective here in these games. It's going to be Squid wards banning away the Taric and the Peanut Gallery, taking away that Twitch that we saw have such a large impact last game.
Next band's going to be Janna.
Next band going to be Janna, calling it from the analysts. Let's see what they end up doing here. Horseman 4 trying to contemplate with his team what this band should be. Rakan is the actual band.
Tristana ban. Bet.
All right, Tristana ban called yet again. Crazy, is he or is he not? We will see if he knows his stuff here. Tristana ban, he knows. He's got to read.
They're going to grab Janna on the side of the Peanut Gallery here. Yeah. Guaranteed.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's such a strong pick.
And especially with like a Sivir and a Corki. Janna's AD buff for the Corki actually improves his magic damage. which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that is good to note here. This is one of the situations where the Janna pickup actually enhances both the mid lane and the bottom lane at the same time here. So a Janna pickup would actually be extremely strong. Ardent Sensor, one of the most popular, if not the most popular, support item at the moment.
Yeah, as of right now, the tank supports, they are still really good, and they're really good at making plays and taking a lead and running with it. But the Ardent abusing supports can just wait until they get that Ardent and then completely overpower them. There's the Janna. I called it.
A little bit of a troll hover there on the Azir. They could still potentially pick it up, but I don't think it's gonna.
Let's go.
Yeah, the Azir top lane. I'm ready. But I don't think that's going to be the thing they want. They've got to find something to face up against this Cho'Gath in this top lane. Or that could be Cho jungle. That's a good flex pickup by them.
Yeah, no kidding. Ooh, the Aurelia.
Aurelia going to be the lock-in here for Wriggle Q. I guess maybe trying to react to this Horseman 4 aggression he's been experiencing. We always see Horseman 4 laying down auto attacks, trying to get in and get trades down against the enemy. And Aurelia is the perfect pickup to try to counteract that, having that equilibrium strike to get that increased stun duration. So very nice.
It really depends on what this Aurelia builds, because if she goes
no.
more than one damage item, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, but
uh-oh.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we've entered the Horseman zone, boys.
We've entered the Horseman zone. We have seen him this entire season be pulling out this Fiora when she was strong, when she was nerfed, and even now when other top laners and tanks are just better. He's still pulling it out, which just shows how strong he is on the champion.
Yep. And Fiora is one of those champions that it doesn't matter what you build, as long as she's gotten some sort of money. It's so hard to handle here. Aurelia might be one of the champions who can fare against it decently well, because it's so hard to time how the equilibrium strike comes out. But the fact that Riposte has that 50% attack speed slow is going to be so devastating for Wriggle Q in these trades if he doesn't play this so well, that it's going to be so difficult to win this one. We're about to see a spicy matchup up here in the top lane, but let's take a couple of minutes to analyze these teams a little bit deeper here. Talk to me, Crazy, about Zach and Cho'Gath out of the jungle. What are these guys looking to do to try to set their teams ahead?
Zach's probably going to be ganking a lot more in the early game than Cho'Gath would. Cho'Gath's going to want to farm up in the jungle, maybe get his stacks with his ultimate, get tanky before Zach can, because that's the one advantage that he has, is that he can get tankier than Zach in the early game. Really, what I can see is that late game, Zach is just going to be straight engaging on the back line there on the Ashe, and on that, just Ashe.
Yeah. You looked at everyone else and you're like, I don't know if he wants to jump into a Fiora. Cho'Gath is large, and Cassidy's just gonna move.
He ever jumps on Fiora's just gonna repost and then it's just gonna be done. Yeah. That's not good. We're seeing Corki and Cassidy coming out of the I believe that's teleport on both of them. I can't exactly see coming out of the Cassidy in there because the glitch for spectators.
When are they gonna fix this thing, by the way? Get me my
probably never,
summoner
because nobody
spells.
spectates.
Come on, man. It's so annoying for me. But either way, go on.
Continuing on, the Corki actually, I believe, unless Corrin gets ahead, Corki's going to have a much higher impact than he is. Just due to the fact that he is a backline champion and is really hard to kill. He's got, if he has packaged 2 dashes, along with the fact that anybody who jumps on him is just going to get bursted out.
Yeah, right. Heading down into the bottom lane, we've got the Sivir Janna versus the Ashe Lulu, 2 shielding supports who can take advantage of that Ardent Sensor, and kind of a similar role fill for these AD carries as well, trying to get their teams into fights and try to catch up to people who are catching them out.
Out of the 2v2, I can see Squid's wards have a much better chance of the 2v2, unless Sivir blocks the ultimate from Ashe. If she blocks that ultimate, they immediately win the fight. He actually could block both the polymorph and the ult at the same time if he times it correctly.
Really?
or if Squid's Ward's screwed up. Yeah, the spell shield from Sivir, it actually can block as many abilities as you want if they're all at the same time and they hit you.
Wow, okay. So yeah, Sivir having an opportunity here to shut down quite a bit of this bottom lane, but like if he manages to spell shield a polymorph, perfect. That's going to be some impressive stuff there, because it's not really an animation to that. It just sort of happens. It
actually, it's what's the word? It's a projectile coming from Lulu. It actually, she throws something at you. I'm pretty sure. She shoots it out of her staff. Yeah, that's why Yasuo can block it.
Okay, cool.
The speed up itself is not a projectile, but the polymorph is.
Gotcha. And with that short analysis, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be getting loaded into this next match. Type out in the chat, man, who do you think is going to win this one? Is it going to be Squid's Wards, who had such a strong showing in game number 1 despite some early deficits? Or is the Peanut Gallery going to be able to bring it back and give us a even matchup for a 1v1 or 1-to-1 series here? See you guys in just a second as we get loaded into the Rift. The fastest loading screens. So, game number 2 of Squid's Wards versus the Peanut Gallery, getting started right here in just a second. Once we get out of this dark mode, whatever this is called, man, I don't know, shade eclipse mode thing. It's just loading.
Yeah, the fail of eclipse that we had. Yeah.
That eclipse, you know what? I went outside for the eclipse and I was like, this is gonna be so sick. It's gonna get so dark. It's gonna get all cold.
It was so hype.
Yeah, I know.
Cloudy.
Yeah, well, not even. It wasn't cloudy for me. It was just like, it was as if I put on some dollar store sunglasses and stepped outside, and I was just like, right? Oh, that's so that's the eclipse. That's it. I was talking to my friend who's got a wildlife degree, and he was like, "Oh yeah, during eclipses, some crazy stuff happens with like air temperature and air pressure, so it gets like super windy and stuff." And I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be so hype!" And I stepped outside, and I was like, "It's like it's 5 degrees cooler and a little bit shady."
So what did the chat hit you with? Which team is gonna win?
The chat hit me with literally nothing. None of them are paying attention.
Feels good, man. Well, what do you think, Stretch?
Honestly, I think Horseman Force Fiora is so ridiculous that it's going to be such a problem for the Peanut Gallery that I think they're going to walk away with a victory because of it. That's where I'm at right now.
That's where you're at?
Yeah, man. How about
I
you?
can see that happening too. But I also love the team comp coming out of the Peanut Gallery. It's much better drafted than it was the last game, for sure. But Horseman's on Fiora.
Yeah, dude, it's I've seen him tear apart so many people with this pick, but we'll see how it ends up going. 1 minute 40 hits and the red buff spawns as Zach is going to take this one away. Gold 5 Lucian, the sub for the Peanut Gallery this game, up on the top side of the map. Eat My Apples is slowly working his way through this first Raptor camp. These Vorpal spikes hitting all of these small ones, giving him that level 2 fairly early on. Top side already. Horseman 4. Look at this man chunking this man so low. Oh my goodness. Don't kill him already. Our Equilibrium Strike comes through. He did it in like...
Oh my god.
It's been 26 seconds since minions collided.
What we're seeing with the chat, and I'm honestly hoping that neither team manages to win. I'd like to see 2 losers in this game.
So far, it looks like that might not be the case here, as that first kill on Horseman 4 happens so easily.
And the teleport used from Wriggle.
Yeah, man. It's about to be a hard one.
This is going to be a hard matchup for top lane.
Yeah, top lane's going to have a rough time. And the problem is there's a tank jungler as well, so even if Zach comes in for the gank, he himself is under so much threat from the percent health true damage that it's scary for a Zac to gank that lane, man. It's the second something goes wrong and a horseman gets 2 kills off of that, you have to you kick yourself so hard. Double smites go down, but it's gonna be gold 5 Lucian who ends up walking away with the buff there. Mid lane a little bit of hatred getting thrown down by Killer Z against Corin the Cat as Iris0 once again throwing down the aggression. It was actually Mother of Doge's last game who threw down a lot of the pressure, so Iris0 saying it's my turn now.
Yeah. Really what I can see out of these junglers, that they need to be, Eat My Apples needs to be focusing on top lane, pull out some dives on that Aurelia with Horseman, just get him even farther ahead. And Gold 5 Lucian just needs to say, hey, Aurelia, you're on your own. I'm going to go get Mother of Doge's ad.
Yep, good riposte once again as Horseman 4 taken very low due to that red buff, but still does not go down. Actually was able to get both the Equilibrium Strike of Wriggle Q and the Elastic Slingshot of Gold 5 Lucian in one spellcast there, so super value on that counter ability.
Yeah, there really isn't much that they can do to gank this Fiora. Like, if he plays it right, he's not gonna die. He's not gonna die. That's it.
Yeah, definitely a hard time up there. Double longsword purchase there for Horseman 4. Not a single potion grabbed as well. A lot of confidence coming out here for this top laner as Iris0 tries to maintain control of this bottom lane, throwing down a couple auto attacks against Mother of Doge's. HMTKD throwing down that Janus shield yet again. Lulu shield in response. Glitterlance for the slow. And Mother of Doge's missing a lot of that mana pool right now, and that could really end up hurting them. They lose out on that wave clear and pushing power. Not only that, but these trades get a lot more difficult when there is no mana bar available.
Yeah, no kidding. Ash's early game is, a lot of people would think bad, but with the poke from Bali, it makes it so that you're always higher health than the enemy when you go in.
Very difficult to dodge out of that ability correctly once these minion waves start to thin out. So quite often that we see people get hit by it. Either way, Iris0 just taking their time, last hitting these minion waves, just trying to maintain control of the wave. Mid lane TP burned by Corin the Cat to get back to this mid lane wave and try to build a little bit of a farm advantage there. In top lane, once again, some aggressive play coming out of Horseman 4. This time, Wriggle Q definitely respecting the amount of damage that's available on this Fiora and disengaging that fight. But so far, for the past couple of minutes, ever since that kill went down and that gank resolved up in the top lane, not too much action coming down here as these guys just farm up, try to scale up, and get to that first item purchase.
I believe after that first game in Horseman 4 showing off what he can do, I believe Squid's wards are, or the peanut gallery actually, is very hesitant to attempt anything on him.
Bottom lane, though, pushed up quite a bit. Zac coming around the corner here as Gold 5 Lucian is looking for a window into the lane. Recalls coming out from both Iris0 and Leona Del Bay in the brush, so he's not going to be able to find anything there quite yet. Now stepping back towards the red buff, which has not yet spawned. Maybe a good time to pay some attention to this mid lane, but instead just going to clear out or scout for a bit of vision. Try to figure out what he wants to do next here.
It's really hard to gank the entire team of Squid wards. You've got Horseman 4, who is either going to 1v2 them or just get away with the repost and then the Q low cooldown from Fiora with the Cassidon ulti along with the Lulu to stop.
Oh, we actually might have a good fight here. Wriggle Q saving that Equilibrium Strike to till after the riposte had gone down, turning around yet again to stun Eat My Apples there as well, and some decent power coming out of this Irelia. Flash forward to Equilibrium. He needs one more auto attack, finds it to get that return kill on Horseman 4 on the top lane. We might have a lane here, boys.
Exactly what happened there is that Wriggle Q hit level 6 and immediately went on Horseman 4.
Yep, using that XP advantage to get the additional ability down, and Transcendent Blades, I think it is? Yeah, Transcendent Blades. Such a good ability in the 1v1, not only doing that damage, but giving the heal in return. Makes it so difficult to actually fight that out. It's kind of like if your ultimate, was a targeted ability you could throw out at people. So it's fantastic for the 1v1.
Not really. Fewer OP is true damage to everybody.
Well, yeah, but it's still damage and healing.
You're right. Dude, this game is looking like the top laners are just going back and forth, and the rest of the lanes are like, hey, we just want to farm up and wait until we can abuse our top laners.
Yeah, exactly. Wait until these top laners have the resources they need, and then we can either deny them or support them as best we can. Because there's actually quite a bit of CC available on the side of Squid's wards. It's going to be kind of hard for Wriggle Q to get into the backline as long as they can land literally any ability on them. Also, I imagine Horseman Force can be chasing them around these team fights, but we'll see how this game ends up playing out. Right here at the 8.5-minute mark, a little bit of a farm lead here for Iris0 down in the bottom lane, though.
I don't believe that needing to get in the back line is a thing for Wriggle Q. He doesn't need to. Horseman it's going to be a much something that he needs to more focus on, but Wriggle can just if the peanut gallery just plays team fights front to back, they will win almost every time due to the Corki and Sivir on the back line.
Quite a bit of damage available there. Not only that, but that ricochet damage from Sivir, so good in grouped up team fights, able to hit pretty much every single member of the team, assuming they stand together. Looks like the entire game's just devolved into a farm fest. Is this even Ascension? What's going on? How come no one's dying?
This has become semifinals. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Everyone's
we're
playing.
pro play. Ashero thrown down here. Actually lands on the Corki in the mid lane. Are you kidding me? Out of nowhere, Corin the Cat forces the flash out of this Corki. Jump in from Zach. His gold 5 Lucian tries to find some damage. Wriggle Q TP'd in. Now gets the stun on to Eat My Apples, who's forced to flash out. Flash into a mist. Let's bounce by gold 5 Lucian, but they're able to get the pressure around this dragon area.
And we were complaining about no action.
Yeah, dude, they heard us. They're like, no action, huh? Well, watch this.
Yeah, basically, if Iris keeps doing that, eventually it's going to come out to something.
Definitely true. Mid lane now under pressure as Mother of Doges stepping up, getting some casual auto attacks down. Probably could have gone down and picked up the air drake there, but either way, they end up just sieging onto the mid lane a little bit. Good sidestep of the riposte into Equilibrium Strike here. Ultimate popped by Irelia. Can he find the health? He cannot. Horseman 4 taken down once again in the 1v1 against by Wriggle Q.
As long as Irelia doesn't get stunned by the riposte, I'm pretty sure that he wins every time, just due to true damage. And what items does he have right now? He has a Sheen, which is a lot of power in a 1v1.
Wriggle Q sitting on now 1,300 gold, able to head back to the base, pick up a phage and maybe some attack speed to try to finish out this Trinity Force. Bottom lane, so many abilities being thrown, but look at how many projectiles are coming out of this Ashe. There's so many little bolts happening, but Mother of Doges kind of just stands there and goes, I got Janna Shield. It's whatever.
I mean, this is basically what happened last game, and he just abused the Janna Shield over and over throughout the entire lane. Every single time it was up, he played aggressive.
Pretty much. Mid lane, looks like we got some damage going down into Wriggle Q. Equilibrium Strike does connect, but it's going to be a 3v1 scenario. Able to sidestep that knockup, looking to maybe flash over this wall. He does end up flashing here, double flash out of the likes of the Squidward squad. And Corki finally reacting a little bit too late, though. As the rest of the squad disengages, and maybe they look for the Rift Herald here. No, just looking for the Scuttle Crab, and they're probably going to break up after that one. Bottom lane trading down yet again on Iris0 against Mother of Doges. The shield matchup is quite interesting as they both get bolstered up and then just walk at each other. Mid lane, it looks like we've got some trading yet again. Corin the Cat in against Killer Z, but this is the advantage that the ranged is able to have against the melee. As you come out, you were able to get that damage on the exit. Bottom lane, good game out of gold, yeah, gold 5 Lucian. Getting both flashes out of both Iris0 and Leona Del Bay. Mid lane, Killer Z's got to go back to lane, man. He's too low.
This is just a turnaround from the last game. Killer Z solo killing Corrin over and over. I hope we can see the same thing coming out of Corrin. I'd like to see him say, hey, you can do that? Well, I can do that better.
Exactly. I want to see a lot of pressure come out of this This Cassidy in the mid lane, still no boots available, so he's really relying on this Rift Walk for each of these trades to get that damage out and then try to disengage topside. Looks like we get a 3-man take here for Eat My Apples, Horseman 4, and Corn the Cat to knock out this Rift Herald, but it's still going to be Regal Q in the pressure in that 1v1 matchup. In order to use this Rift Herald adequately, they've got to make sure that they get a kill down on Regal Q to take his turret out. So we'll see how Horseman 4 ends up using this buff. Maybe ganks to come up there yet again.
I've got 2 things to point out. One is that Corn the Cat is doing exactly what Killer Z did last game and showing confidence in himself and buying that Darksteel. He's just saying, hey, guess what? You're not going to kill me. It's not happening this game. I guess he has to make up for all the deaths from last game.
Possibly. But once again, actually, Darksteel is very common in the mid lane strictly for that passive, the increased potion regeneration. Is so good for saving you money when you get that refillable that I see people take it quite a bit.
It's very strong on him.
Yeah, man. Oh, bottom lane, looks like we've got some trading. Look at the amount of damage Sivir's able to do, but it doesn't quite finish off. Iris 0, is Asher Arrow available? It is, and Spell Shield was used. They could have technically tried for something a little bit more aggressive, but end up just backing off there. Top lane, Gold 5 Lucian looking for the jump in. Riposte actually doesn't do anything. He kites back towards Eat My Apples, who walks forward, and they disengage. I didn't expect them to disengage there. I thought they were going to brawl a little bit more, but I guess they want to preserve those health bars, continue getting gold in this top lane.
There was something I wanted to say right after they got that Rift Herald, is that what they could have done is waited for the wave to push up so that it wasn't under the turret, and they popped the Rift Herald in the tri-bush back there. They could just go and kill the tower instantly. The one dash from the Rift of the Herald.
Oh, bottom lane package delivered. Leona Del Bay walks directly onto the package fire, and it does so much damage. Corky Valkyrie's forward yet again, finds a second kill for the team on the likes of Iris 0. They're not going to go for the turret here? Okay, they're going for the turret here, but just not in a 3-man, as it looks like Killer Z is going to try to hold on to this mid lane tower. Gold 5 Lucian in the mid lane, just trying to do what he can to disrupt these guys if he can. A little bit of turret damage getting thrown down on the Eat My Apple since he's got that Bammy Cinder. Killer Z walking into lane here. Rift walk forward into a little bit of damage out of Cassidy yet again. And look at the amount of chunking that Corn the Cat's able to do against Killer Z this early in the game.
Yeah, Corn is actually playing this matchup really well, just hopping in, dealing damage, and then backing off.
A lot of damage available there. Slide in against Wriggle Q for Horseman 4, just trying to find these vitals one at a time here. And whittle his opponent down as much as possible. Wriggle Q opting to actually get the stinger there instead of the phage pickup for the movement speed. He just wants that attack speed so he can apply those true damage on hits as much as possible.
Honestly, Wriggle's playing this Aurelia really well, and he's stopping Horseman from being able to really help his team at all.
So much pressure up here in the top lane that Horseman 4 is forced to use that TP to get back to lane, try to protect this first turret if he can. But still, the 1v1 is very difficult for Horseman 4, which is surprising because, once again, we've seen Horseman go very aggressive and do very well very often here. He actually gets the stun down onto Zac thanks to that elastic slingshot, slides back to a void that lets bounce but can't quite maintain enough health bar to walk away. Decorative Ash Arrow flying across the rift. Will it make contact? It will not make contact with anyone.
The only thing I have to say out of that is that Horseman 4, if he hit that ultimate, he might have had a chance. But unfortunately, when he got stunned up by the, what was it called?
Equilibrium Strike?
Yeah. Holy, the Sivir damage.
Yeah, man. Mother of Doja stepping forward, says, I'm on the hunt, baby. Steps in, gets a kill. Oh, turn around and hit this man. No, actually, never mind. Get out of there as quickly as possible. Your auto attacks did not do nearly as much damage as I thought they would.
Yeah, he, I believe, did...
Oh my goodness! The flash forward from Corn the Cat. He comes in like a storm and takes out that Sivir.
Ouch. I just flinched.
Yeah. Alright, it's mid lane. It looks like Killer Z getting aggressive here. I'm not sure if he wants to get aggressive, but he's got a Janna at his back. We talked about this before. Janna, this is one of the only times that Janna is going to be able to put the shield on a mid laner and actually have it reasonably increase their damage output. So because of that, Cassidy off to the side. Corn the Cat being very careful as to whether he wants to jump in or not. Going to back off and rejoin the team.
Yeah, as an AD carry, man, that was painful to watch.
Yeah.
That was like when you feel that strong and like you're doing that well, you flash forward, get a kill on the enemy AD carry, you're just like, yes, I'm doing good, and you got one-shotted by the enemy mid laner. Congratulations.
Yeah. That's basically how it goes. All right. Once again, ARAM mode activated as both teams start to focus on this mid lane. Bot lane outer still fully available, but Iris Zero and Leona Del Bay feel the need to help Cassidy clear out these minion waves. Stretching Strike connects against Cassidy, but no minions or targets to bounce him against.
We're actually seeing Infinity Edge instead of Essence Reaver on the Sivir there.
Interesting, yeah. Not taking advantage of the mana regen and cooldown reduction, instead just going for the straight crit, I guess, based off these early advantages from those kills.
I guess so, but you have to look at the Corki too. Look at that power spike that he's hitting. He's got a Trinity Force with a BF sword. That is a lot of damage that can come out of him.
Yeah, they definitely need to play around that. Try to find a way for a Gold 5 Lucian to get into these team fights and set up the rest of the group. Either that or usher in the On the Hunt from Mother of Doges and try to get the rest of the comp into a team fight at the same time as this pause gets thrown down. So maybe a little bit of technical difficulty for these guys. Trying to figure out what the issue is.
Corky said jungle, so I'm gonna go take a guess and say that it was Gold 5 Lucian having some lag or something. But I do want to point out that with the team that the Peanut Gallery has drafted, they have a really strong mid game with double Trinity Force champions on their team. And it's notoriously known that the champions that can build Trinity Force have a really strong mid game.
Yeah, able to constantly proc that Sheen and be able to get the bonus damage out of it. Super huge for these guys. Pause ending here, though, so we'll see how these Trinity Forces are able to assist the likes of the Peanut Gallery in this mid game. The mid lane looks like Killer Z throwing down a bit of damage there against Corn the Cat. Eat My Apple stepping up in the side brush to try to cover if any aggression were to come out there. Once again, a lot of pressure on this mid lane. When I'm AD carry, I prefer to stay bottom lane as long as possible. I hate going mid. I hate sharing my farm with other people. You kidding me? That's my farm.
Sivir just took all that farm.
Yeah, I know. Corky's got. I'd be so upset if I was Corky. I'd be like, "Are you kidding me? Come in here." I guess we got the turret. Oop, flash away from the knockup, the rupture. Sorry, from Eat My Apples. Now trying to find the rest of the squad here. Nothing quite yet as the continued pressure out of the Peanut Gallery is laid down on the mid lane. Ash Arrow comes out, stunned up by Corky. Fiora ultimate thrown down on him as well, but look at the amount of peel that's able to come out here. Backline still fully available for the Peanut Gallery, but the disengage from Squid's wards is just as good. Now, once again, continuing this pressure on this mid lane turret. Trying to do as much damage as possible as the Wolves, for some reason, join the brawl as well.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, Horseman, with how far behind he is, it's really hard for him to get in that back line, especially with the Janna keeping them alive. And without Horseman being able to do that, or Corrin, there's not much that they can do as long as the Peanut Gallery plays team fights correctly.
Knock up yet again on this Corky. Stepping forward to get some more auto attacks down on the turret. Jump in by Cassin. That Rift Walk might have meant his life as the Phosphorus Bomb doesn't quite do enough damage. It's Wriggle Q to get the first kill of the team fight here. Killer Z trying to get some damage down against Iris Zero. And now the health bars are starting to wane and whittle away. As Peanut Gallery is relentless on this turret, though. They're super confident in their ability to outlast their enemy. A little bit of a jump in there from the Irelia player, as off to the side TP gets channeled by Corn the Cat, not wanting to teleport to the turret. He turns the corner, gets stunned up by Wriggle Q, doesn't Rift Walk in, gets the slowdown. Will this be a potential kill? No, not quite yet. So Horseman 4 wanted to get a little bit of damage, but can't quite keep up.
We're actually seeing, I believe, a 20 CS lead out of the Corky and another 20 CS lead out of the Ashe on the other side. Iris Zero has gotten a CS lead in both of these games. Oh, Lulu ulti.
Yep, reactive Lulu ulti there, expecting some more aggression there from Wriggle Q, but Wriggle's really just looking for it.
The panic ult.
Oh my goodness, Wriggle's just going in here. He says, you know what, I think I can get some kill money. Takes out the support straight away, forces the flash out of Iris. He's so patient with that jump through the blade surge to close the gap and finish the kill.
He just completely demolished the both of them. That was really well played by him. If you noticed, he procced Trinity 3 times on that dash.
Oh my goodness, yet again. He's not able to reset that jump, as didn't result in any kill, but either way, forces the disengage out of Core and the cat. Pause comes out.
Yeah, that was actually really worth due to the fact that the flash was wasted by him. The package came out there too, so we have a, I believe, 4-minute timer on the package there. Is it 4 minutes?
It's something like that. I can't quite remember the exact timer.
Might be 5. I'm not sure. Yeah, better than Aurelia. Chat coming in with the meme.
Aurelia, like, is one of those champions that has withstood the test of time. For like, her and Renekton are like, oh, if you want to learn something up in top lane that you think you want to hold on to for a long period of time, Renekton, Aurelia. Just learn them, know them. Bottom lane, knock up dodged by Killer Z. He's getting a little bit low there. Ash Arrow connects. He's about to get chomped. Fly in from Janna. Comes in like the wind and immediately blows him away. You kidding me? Presses R and saves the team's life. I love it.
Who's fighting the top lane? Aurelia versus Fiora here.
Oh my goodness. There's no way Fiora walks away from this one alive. Looks like... Wait, hold on a second.
Wait a minute.
Fiora walks away from this one alive. You're kidding me. Down at the bottom.
No. Aurelia's gonna get jump reset on the minions.
Nope. Just jumps directly to Fiora. Didn't hug the wall towards the top close enough.
There's that Cloud Drake that they picked up earlier in the game.
Oh, actually, yeah, that did help. It helped close that gap.
That's what caught him up, yeah. Completely forgot that Cloud Drake was taken earlier.
Yep. Bottom lane. The Peanut Gallery showing their primary strategy. Sit in front of the turret until they give up hope. So far, it's done them well, and they're hoping to do it again here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, the Peanut Gallery have a lot of poke coming out of their team between the Ricochet and Q from Sivir, along with John Tornadoes and Corki Rockets. And the problem is that Squid's Wards, they want to have a split push going, but they can't because Aurelia doesn't lose to their entire team. Even 2 people, I think, would have a problem taking care of her now.
So much damage available on Aurelia thus far. Not only that, but she's surprisingly tanky with this set of items. The Ninja Tabbies means that Ashe is not very effective against her at this stage. Not only that, but the same goes for the Fiora, and with the on-hits available from between the true damage that's in her kit and the on-hit from the Titanic Hydra as well, it's difficult to take out this Aurelia.
Well, the tank that this Aurelia has is actually kind of a fluke due to the fact that it's all health. She doesn't have any actual base stats.
That's true. Mid lane, a little bit of wave clear coming out here from Killer Z. Just trying to get this wave pushed out. 20 minutes has been crested. We're now on 25, so Baron buff is available for these guys. And I feel like the next fight is going to result in a Baron take, considering how close to the buff these guys are hanging out. Bottom lane as well, Wriggle Q's got that TP available and is pushing up that wave, which means that his team's probably in that Baron buff mindset.
Yeah, it looks like they were attempting to bait it at that point in time. Oh, 2 pink wards in 1 bush.
Value. 60 gold for Aurelia there.
That shouldn't happen.
Yeah. Oh man, top side of the map looks like we've got the 4-on-1 split going on, trying to play around the power that Wriggle Q has available over Horseman 4. Sivir ultimate popped as well, forcing the Rift Walk out of Core and the Cat. Can't quite catch up to him though, as it's a little bit too elusive. Successful disengage coming out of Squid's Wards. Again, this guy is just hanging out here in the top lane, trying to poke as much as possible. Step forward from Mute My Apple as his health bar goes low, almost taken out. Jump in there from Core and the Cat. He gets knocked out by Gold 5 Lucian. And now the pressure is going to continue onto this turret. Big rocket comes out of Killer Z. Will find Lucian to tank the turret just a little bit here. Janus shield comes out as they try to finish off the last remaining health bars on this turret.
Dude, sent him to the side, like.
The warning shots coming out of Corky.
I would not be surprised if they went for Baron right now. No, they low health bars in mana.
Yeah, not going to do it quite yet. Killer Z just taking away a couple of Krugs and then going to head back to base to finish off the next item. Huge power spike here for the mid laner of the Peanut Gallery as he's sitting on both a Infinity Edge and Trinity Force.
Yeah, that is a lot of damage coming out of the Corky there. If you notice, like when Eat My Apples and Corrin went in, they got chunked so hard by that Corky.
Yep, very true. And I think what's the next item? Static Shiv, something like that?
Either static or rapid fire. It really depends on what he wants.
Gotcha. With such a turret-focused game, might be a good idea to go for that rapid-fire cannon, but we will see what he ends up doing. Yep, package up and already available to Killer Z, so if he wants to get that big Rumble-style team fight damage down, he has the opportunity. Ash Arrow comes out immediately, and they're trying to bait him to throw down the package. He actually just gets zeroed out in the end by Corrin the Cat, who's jumped into the backline. The Mother of Doge is still throwing down these auto attacks, being relentless in terms of the damage. The step back from Ashe actually stops a bit of the DPS available, but it does not matter. Frontline looks like Wriggle Q is trying to get out of this brawl, and they end up trading 2 for 3 here in favor of Squid's wards.
Yeah, that early TP came in really late, along with the fact that Killer Z didn't use Flash or Package at all. He had the time to use it, he just didn't.
Yeah, he got really cocky against the enemy. He might have been silenced up by the Cho'Gath, actually.
Possible. I don't exactly know.
Yeah, but he stepped forward looking to be a little bit cheeky with the package, and Ira Zero said, "Oh no, not today, friend. Ash Arrow to the base."
Oh, dude. It's being a really well-played game by both sides.
So far, looking fairly good. Wriggle Q with a little bit of dashing there to clear out this minion wave. Jorm's Fist picked up by him, trying to use that to pick up another health and attack damage combo item. Maybe a Frozen Mallet, but we'll see. Walks into 2 members of the enemy team. Polymorph thrown down. Good sidestep on the Rupture there to keep himself from being knocked up. But even if they did catch up to him, he's in such a state that he might be able to just kill them both outright.
You have to remember that earlier when you mentioned standing the test of time, Jax was actually another champion that has done so.
Oh yeah, for sure. Really able to, always effective in the split push, always effective in the trading. It's just because Counter-Strike is such a good move, dude. It's just such a good ability. It's hard to play against that.
It makes AD carries non-existent, and most ranged champions also need to auto attack to get their damage off, along with melee. It's just any kind of auto attack, just no.
Yep.
You're gonna get demolished. Like Fiora, it actually, I believe, does it block the? I don't know.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it blocks the Q from Fiora because it applies on hit effects.
Okay, that's.
Yeah, Jax is a hard one to deal with. If you've got a Jax who's willing to just walk at you with Counter-Strike up, it's just like, okay, well, I guess I'm not, well, he got me.
I'm very surprised that we haven't seen any Baron plays going on here, even just baiting it out, but it's really just a vision battle going on right now.
Yeah, vision battling and a lot of sieging coming out from the roster of the Peanut Gallery, just trying to put as much turret pressure down as possible, but with the amount of reliable pressure that they have on Wriggle Q on the side lane, like you were saying, it's very possible that they could go for a Baron tank.
I think the reason why they haven't attempted to just do it and force a fight is due to the Cho'Gath ulti.
Yeah. Quick step forward. Get that steal.
That's your ulti down.
Yeah, definitely true. Wriggle Q just walks away and says, I know you won't fight me outside of turret, and we both know I can still win this, so I'm just going to walk away with this one.
Yeah, that is one scary really. A level 18, the Horseman 4 level 15.
Steric's Gauge finished up to prevent any sort of burst damage coming out as well, so very resilient as far as these team fights. And in the side lane, man, it's hard to deal with Wriggle Q right now.
Yeah, Wriggle Q is basically the Horseman 4 of last game.
Yeah, basically that's the roles have been swapped in both mid lane and top lane.
Just like sides were swapped, we've also swapped roles.
There it is. There it definitely is. All three members. Okay, no, that's. I was gonna say all three members walk past a single ward. No one auto attacks it, but it's fine.
That is all the wards cleared out.
Oh my goodness! Look at how cautious Eat My Apples has to be around Wriggle Q. Baron buff going down here. The flash not available as a stray Janet Tornado knocks up Cho'Gath over the wall.
That actually was a terrible smite. If Cho'Gath could get in there, it would have been done.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you notice, Corki was the one that killed it. So that Janet Tornado just completely saved the Baron.
Not only that, but Baron steals are the thing that really turns games around. I don't know, it's probably the additional gold that you get, but I think it changes your team mentality so much to one that's just like, oh yeah, I guess we can do this. Maybe I'll auto attack a little bit more than I would have before in these team fights. But every time I see a Baron steal go down, it's a resurgence in terms of mentality for your enemies. So having that Baron taken away in this situation might have been a completely game-switching thing, because we've talked about how effective Horseman 4 usually is on this Fiora. If he suddenly becomes of the mind, wait, if I can't kill their backline, I'll just use all my true damage to kill the front line, and they just zero out Zac, this game can still turn around.
Actually, yeah, I'd like to point out the fact that even though we were talking about Horseman 4 being so scary on his Fiora, and he got that first blood 26 minutes after the minions walked into the lane, you see Wriggle Q doing what he's doing.
Exactly.
He had this giant lead and then wasn't able to do anything with it.
Ashera connects against Wriggle Q. Reduce CC. They actually throw down a little bit of damage here. Janna ulti to get the heal down. Zac flies into the team fight, getting some peel down, but Horseman Force made himself he's gotten himself into the brawl, waiting for the Zac passive to pop up. As in the mid lane, Killer Z is getting a little bit of damage. In the brush, though, Eat My Apple zoning him out for the rest of the fight. Ira0 steps forward, looking for the damage on Mother of Doges, able to get that slow down continually as the exhaust gets thrown as well, but the turn immediately on Ira0. Double knockup, and the healing's coming through as well from the Cho'Gath's mastery as well. That Stoneborn pact kind of healing Ira0 back up as well. Actually got him to full health. That was a lot of healing.
I believe you forgot to mention that with the shield on from Leona Del Bay, Ardent Sensor actually gives healing too when they auto attack.
Oh yeah, that's right. The on-hit healing from Ardent Sensor. Probably doing the majority of the healing there. Stone of Ruin Pack probably not going to do that much.
Yeah, it's probably not as much, but you have to realize that the healing is based off of max health, and that is a Cho'Gath.
Oh yeah, that is true. How much health is he sitting on right now? I actually turned off my target frame.
Almost 4,000.
Almost 4,000? Yeah, for 35 minutes? That's pretty low for a Cho'Gath. Yeah. He's chilling.
At this point, he should be at 6. Oh, he only has 6 stacks.
Yeah. Wait.
Has he not been stacking on minions? Wait.
I guess not.
All those stacks are only on minions.
Oh, he isn't... Yeah,
Wait.
Now that I think about it, he's got 0 kills. He hasn't chomped a champion yet.
They haven't chomped anyone this entire game.
So,
I guess he's got gargoyles now, so he should be able to one-shot
Oh my goodness. Corrin, the cat gets a little bit too saucy, jumps over the wall there, forced to rift walk out 3 times in a row immediately. And look at the amount of damage that they're able to do to Eat My Apples. 3,000 health, almost 4,000 health. Looks like nothing in the face of all these damage dealers.
You have to keep in mind, with Corki doing mixed damage and then the Aurelia doing true damage, it's non-existent.
Very true. Elder Dragon going down here, as this will double the effectiveness of that Mountain and Air Drake for the Peanut Gallery. Top side of the map, Wriggle Q pushing this minion wave out in the brush. Horseman 4 does not get hit by a stray cone attack from the Titanic Hydra there. on Regal Q, able to get back to the base and start building a little bit tanky, looking for a Randuin's Omen here against the double 80 carry composition of the Peanut Gallery. In lane siege yet again. The Peanut Gallery Classic as these guys try to once again win the War of Attrition. Good thing here for them is that this Elder Dragon buff will add on that additional burn to each of the abilities that makes contact with the enemy. So it's a lot harder now for Squid's wards to outlast this push.
Yeah, they just, right after that Baron, they just went and said, oh, Baron's over. Let's go get Elder Drake. And now they're just using teamfight power to just overpower.
Yeah. Gold 5 Lucian not able to charge up his ultimate enough to carry Eat My Apples away from the base there. Ends up bouncing him kind of into it.
Entire game.
Yeah, it's ever since they added the 1/10 of a second onto there, it throws me off too. Because I'm like, all right, I know what 1 second feels like. Here's 1 second, and it's like, nah, that wasn't long enough. And I'm like, wait, hold on a second.
Does he not know that he can do it? Like, he hasn't even attempted to charge it.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
I could have sworn he flashed on somebody and tried to do it.
He did, but he just ended it.
Right. All right. Well, mid lane push finally yielding that mid lane inhibitor as Eat My Apples is stepping up, getting ready to clear out this mini wave so he can rotate to the top lane and meet them at that next inhibitor turret.
They're using this Elder Drake just to not even fight, but just to scare them away.
Yeah. Right now, Squid's wards not wanting to engage on this Baron or Dragon buff at all. Look at the amount of damage able to be thrown down by Wriggle Q and almost none taken in return. Lulu ultimate burned and Cho'Gath not in position. Knockup does not actually do anything thanks to the spell shield out of Sivir. And now on the front of the fight, Wriggle Q helps take out Iris Zero almost immediately on the fight. Eat My Apple stepping up to try to do some zoning, but this Cho'Gath just does not have enough tools to keep his team alive. Jumping yet again by Wriggle Q forces the Rift Walk away from Corin the Cat. Stoneborn Plate, Stoneborn Plate popped by Eat My Apples, looking for that chomp, but can't find anyone at all. Killer Z to step away from Corin the Cat out of that Zonia's Hourglass. And now Rift walking away back towards the base here. 2 inhibitors now picked up by the Peanut Gallery.
Yeah, honestly, that Killer Z does so much damage. You saw he hit Iris Zero once, and that was over half of his health down.
Yeah, so hard to deal with this Corki right now. Look at his items, man. He is so strong at the moment. Trinity
Triple
Force,
crit there.
Yeah, triple crit and an IE on top. Spell pen boots. He does so much damage. I think that the reason that Corki I feel is so strong right now is he gets to build the spell pen boots, and those are insane.
Yeah, and you can't build against him at all. Like if you build magic resist, guess what? I still do some AD damage.
Imagine if there were flat lethality boots available to 80 carries. You know how often you'd see those things?
Let's not talk about this. don't even suggest these things. Yeah. I don't want to see a Zed or a Talon with one of those.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is that like that's the effect that Corki has with these sorcerer shoes. That's the reason this damage always pops carries so hard, is because they don't have the magic resist available to block his damage. Yep. Package used to assist with that Baron buff. Second Baron for the Peanut Gallery. Dragon not available quite yet, but they're just going to hard push down probably this bottom lane as the other 2 lanes have already had their inhibitors taken.
Yeah, honestly, Squid's wards can't even contest things anymore. Everyone on this, you've got both solo lanes on the side of the Peanut Gallery level 18, while Corin the Cat is still sitting at level 17. It's really a brutal game to watch.
Yeah. Very, very difficult here, and it's definitely hard to watch because it feels like this like Squid's wards don't have a lot of windows back into the game here. Cho'Gath, yes, he's got a lot of health. Yes, he has the threat of the chomp, but this entire game, this entire game, he has not been able to find his way into the fight. And look at the amount of damage that he takes just by stepping up to the enemy. Killer Z and Mother of Doges are so aggressive with these auto attacks; they give no time for him to set up anything at all. Shiro to come out and miss. One more utility down for Squid's wards as they start stepping towards the base. Looks like they're not able to get the kill there onto Corki. And the heals bring him back to life yet again. Horseman 4 in against Mother of Doges. Won't find anything there. Step forward into a double-man knockup by Cho'Gath, but it will mean absolutely nothing as they close out the game in an aggressive fashion. 41 minutes and 41 seconds. The Peanut Gallery walk away with their first victory of the set.
I'm just going to point out the fact that the Janna ulti at the end there during the last team fight knocked 2 people out of Leona Del Bay's redemption. It was a well-placed Janna ulti.
Yeah, very effective there. Not only getting the healing, but also denying the healing to the enemy as well. But a complete shift here for the Peanut Gallery, showing us, hey, you can take your aggressive top laners, but guess what? We've got our own. Wriggle Q really strutting his stuff in this matchup against Horseman Force Fiora, probably his most notable champion up in the top lane, and making it look like child's play as he walks all over that lane.
I just have to say that that probably was a giant confidence killer for Horseman 4. His self-esteem must feel terrible right now due to that.
Yeah, very difficult to
You
handle.
saw the way he came into that.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
like, I'm going to pick Fiora, and then he got the first blood just like that. He was so confident and felt so good about it due to his performance in the last game. But then immediately afterwards, he starts losing, and you could just tell he got worse. He just felt worse and worse. You could tell by the way he was playing.
And it was so difficult for him to do anything in that 1v1. Once Wriggle Q got acclimated to playing around the riposte and sidestepping it, or either that or hitting the equilibrium strike afterward, or if he got his attack speed slow, equilibrium striking at that point, he had so much counterplay to that riposte that he was able to dominate that matchup as a result. Really well played there.
Wriggle Q in the chat there going for some BM. As soon as I got first blooded, I knew the lane was over. Kappa, dude.
The Kappa stamp of approval there, but either way, well played by Wriggle Q, taking down Horseman 4's Fiora, and it looks like...
we're talking about Wriggle Q so much, but if you look at the damage graphs, he did half as much as what Sivir and Corki did.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I wanted to touch on that, really, because the other person to swing their matchup in the other direction is going to be Killer Z. Corrin the Cat started out this game looking so aggressive, so positive in that matchup, getting clean trade after clean trade, but not turning it...
And he just got outscaled.
Yeah, into too many kills. And then the scaling kicked in for Corki, and it was just 2 different worlds of damage completely.
Yeah, it was, oh, hey, look, Corki's low health again, into... oh, hey, he's not taking any damage.
Yeah, there's no time to deal damage, because if you try to deal damage now, you're just going to die.
Yeah, it was. I also honestly think that the Janna was a big part of the Corki's damage. As we pointed out at the beginning of the game and throughout the entire game, is that Corki is one of the only champions that Janna can actually buff up with her shields. And anytime that they try to do anything to the Corki, hey, look, there's a shield. And he's got extra magic damage. That's just not fair.
Yeah, that being said, guys, we're going to get set for game number 2. Take a look at some of these stats here, and we're going to get back into the rest of the game. See you guys in a couple of minutes. We'll see you guys for game number 3 of Squid's Wards versus the Peanut Gallery in Ascension eSports Elder League semifinals. Yeah, that's about it. See you guys.